even in this rigid environment that we're in right now, the guidelines are still meant only to be used as guidelines. They're never hard and fast. So it's always a case-by-case basis is what I'm trying to say. And so you really can't get into a conversation about guidelines and have them apply universally to everybody. That's why, again, you need to talk to a mortgage professional and let that professional look at your unique individual situation and work directly with you.
So don't ever discount yourself to the fact that you can't do something until you've actually found out from somebody that you can ascertain knows what they're talking about.
Right, and in general, a good mortgage professional is not going to just tell you no, but what they would do, and what I would do with anyone who I talk to, is I would coach that person, create a timeline for when that person would become financeable, and give them a step-by-step action plan of what they would need to do in order to become financeable in that timeline. So it's not just a flat no, it then becomes more of a coaching program and an informational program to get that person up to being able to borrow.
So if somebody knows that their credit is like really bad because somebody else has told them it is, or they've pulled it themselves and they know they've done things, I mean, what's the lowest credit score you've seen without there being a credit score at all, and how long, what are some of the things that can be done or that you would do to work them through, and what kind of a timeline could they maybe expect? I know it's a ballpark figure.
Yeah, that's getting into really too much, that's too broad to comment on that. Again, I just want to draw it back to, you got to be talking to a mortgage professional and or a credit professional. But if you do have credit that's injured, you need to start, if you intend to make payments, if you intend to pay the creditor, start paying the creditor. And if you intend to not do that and you intend to settle, again, get back in touch with a mortgage professional. They're as good a coach as any on how to settle debt. Don't pay some debt settlement company thousands of dollars when you can get that advice for free from a mortgage person.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are willing to, all these commercials, all the ads that say, oh, we can do this for you and do that for you, so you can do the same thing for them.
Pretty much.
Okay. And so as long as there's a will and they're willing to work at it and do things, anybody with enough want and desire and following a plan can get to home ownership as long as they have a job, get everything back on track and pay attention and work with you to get things squared away again.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about a normal range of loans. What are like the higher end loans? Are they higher to get, like, and what break off point is that? They still call jumbo loans, right?
They're still called jumbo loans, and right now, if you're above a 650 loan amount, if you're above a 417 loan amount, that's in the jumbo category, and above 650 would be super jumbo. And in general, you need to put at least 20% down if you're a jumbo borrower.
And so, but when we're getting into the higher end homes and stuff like that, and that range of loans, people generally, are you finding they finance those types of properties, or are they putting a lot more money down, or how did that?
Well, you know, I guess that'd be more of a real estate question, because if they're paying cash, I don't ever talk to them.
Yeah, you don't even see them. But you do the higher end loans, and when you're doing those, what is the normal percentage that people are putting down?
It does range, I would say between 20 and 50%.
And they usually have like quite a high income per year, and
their income definitely supports the debt repayment. That's going to be critical.
Okay. So none of that's like out of the range either. It's like there isn't any top end loan that banks will do for property as long as the ratios are there, the percentage down, stuff like that, they can still get a loan.
Yeah, and as far as top end, again, once you get into the larger and larger loan amounts, just like on the lower end loans, there's a lot of creativity that's still available in the lending community, a lot of customization, and a lot of lenders being able to look at the borrower and look at that unique situation and lend accordingly.
So, let's see, what else? Any things that you can think of that basically people should be aware of when they're out thinking about getting loans and thinking about properties?
Yeah, I think the number one thing, and I'll say this in closing, is that the media doesn't always have it right.
No, that's for sure.
And, the media has pounded the lending industry and the real estate industry and pounded us for a couple of years now. And I think the public in general has a perception that it's more difficult to get a loan right now. And I think that term's being used very generally and really inappropriately. If a person meets the lending criteria that are still available, it's not difficult to get a loan. I wouldn't call it easy, because there's still a process to getting a loan, and that process is not necessarily simple, but it's not difficult if you're working with a mortgage professional.
What's just another thing from that I thought of, as far as a timeline goes, and I know it all depends on whether the buyer actually gets the proper documentation to you on time and stuff like that, but let's just, for this question, assume that if you ask them, they provide everything. What is a general range of things that they need to make sure they have in order to begin with? And having those in order, what's a normal length of time to do a home loan these days?
If they've got their tax returns, their asset accounts, which is bank statements and other financial assets, if they've got those things in order, that's primarily it. There are other miscellaneous and varying items, but 30 to 45 days is still enough time to close on a home loan from start to finish.
Okay. And so, and you have an office, and your office is located where?
In Fountain Hills.
Okay.
We're on Shea, just kind of between Scottsdale and right when Fountain Hills starts.
So you're right around the area, so we're actually only like probably 5 minutes apart from each other as far as doing business. And Scottsdale is a great area to do business in. Homes sell here. Don't pay attention to the news, because homes do sell. Jay's doing quite well as far as loans go. Refinancing, still a lot of that going on.
Well, rates have popped up about a point in the last month, from right around 5 to now closer to 6. We're still doing some loans below 6%, but no, not as many refis. I'm totally committed to working with realtors and working with what we call purchase money business, and that's with buyers. So we're working with probably 80% of the loans that I do right now are purchase loans.
Okay. So, like you said, Jay Boersma, pleasure talking with you today, Jay. And I'm
Thanks, Jim.
Sure we're going to get plenty of information out there. And if you have any questions for Jay or myself in the future, just make sure you check on the website, and you'll find all the information you need there, and you'll be able to contact us, and we'll be able to take care of any need that you have. So
Let's talk again soon.
you wave up. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Bye.